Welcome to Cambodia Business Week. Today we have some interesting guests. I want to call it a legend because normally we say we have a special guest, but today I want to say we have a legend. Siem Reap province, Siem Reap city, Angkor Wat is one of the most important money earners, but also to be honest, it's really the cultural heart of Cambodia. Angkor Wat, it represents the history of Cambodia, the Khmer Empire. People don't realize that there was a Khmer Empire once. Yeah. And Angkor Wat, which was lost in the forest and discovered, has become one of the top attractions in the world. And in fact, it's now the #1 attraction in the world to be visited. And that's surprising to a lot of people around the world, that in Cambodia, there is this incredible temple that people come from all over the world, and it's the top attraction in the world, in Cambodia. And Angkor Wat sits in a city called Siem Reap. And Siem Reap is a tourist hub and a fantastic part of the earnings of the country. Tourism being, I guess, now the #1. Is it the #1? No, garments #1. Construction now and tourism pretty much #2.
I think so.
Right. So tourism being very important to the country. And Siem Reap as a city needed to develop things to do. Places to see, things to do at night. There's people that are familiar with Siem Reap may be familiar with Pub Street. But I want to introduce Mr. Nam Lim and Mr. Johnny Pang, because today we're going to talk about what Mr. Lim has done in Siem Reap, which has been absolutely incredible, which has created attractions and more things to do in Siem Reap besides just going to the temple and Pub Street, right?
Yeah.
So first, Mr. Lim, I want to talk about what you actually was one of the first things that you did in Siem Reap that really changed the city a bit. You created something called the night market.
Yeah.
So before we get into your history yourself, I want to talk about the night market, and then we'll talk a little bit about you. So what was the idea and the concept behind the night market?
Originally, I'm in the tourism business. Then my main job that time is the tour coordinator. So I worked with that about 8 years. So I feel like nothing at night. When we have a low season, I travel, I explore other countries. So I find out I should do the night market because at night, no place for tourists to go around in that time.
Not really places to shop, right?
Yeah. So it's
tourists
really,
like to shop, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
And when I bring the group, they keep asking where I can go, any night market. I say no, not yet coming. So finally, I decided to make a night market in the end of 2006.
Right.
The end of 2006.
And tell us about the night market. What type of shopping is? What kind of stalls or stores
actually,
are there?
in that time we start a very local styles, and we sell a local products. So what I focus in that time is selling Cambodian handmade.
Right.
In that time, so we're starting from a small part, like a small market, about 80 stalls, and it's going to be 250 stalls in 2 years. So we increase a lot of stall, and we increase a lot of product from the village to sell in our market.
So the handmade, I mean, the people want to go home, and they're tourists. They want to go home with something that's made in Cambodia. So yes. What types of products that are made in Cambodia that people can buy in the night market?
Of course, they need the local. We have handicraft is handmade is chroma. This is very simple and not expensive that people can buy. And then the carving from wood and stones. And some other is a small basket. Painting.
Right.
So painting also interesting.
And a lot of Buddha.
Buddha statue, Buddha painting. daily life painting also selling good, selling very well in the market.
So I mean, you created a lot of jobs also.
Yeah, yes. We have finally we have 250 stores, and we take tourists about 1,500 per night. Tourists go 1,500 per night in that time. So far now that area is still almost the same amounts of the tourists going nowadays. But what we can say, the developing of the market now is a lot of light along the street. There's a lot of shop along the street. This is the one that I want to see the city become like now in the city. Not even my market, but any other local, any other private or any family, they can sell in along the street, because the tourists start go out from the hotel at night already.
Right. Okay. Let's talk a little bit, and Johnny, we'll get to you in a minute. So you're sitting there very patiently. Let's talk a bit about yourself, because where were you originally from?
Actually from Siem Reap. I graduated in Cambodia, and after high school, I go to work in the hotel. My first job is in Grand Hotel.
Okay.
Yeah. So after that, I changed to another hotel in that time called Diamond Hotel, and then I go to the tour guide training by support by UNESCO. Then from that time, I become tour guide and tour conductor.
So you were a tour guide in
Tour guide and tour conductor. So I worked that for 8 years. Then I create a night market as I see my vision, nothing for tourists, so I do it. And then
because you were listening to the people that you were doing the tour guide from, right? They say, this is how you got the inside, right?
Yeah.
So you people were saying, what do I do here? Where do I go? And then you said, wow, I have a great idea. What about a night market?
Yeah. So I do the market look very simple, not a big building. It's from straw, from bamboo. It's very nice. We can see in the website and YouTube, they already launch it, and a lot of high rate now. People knows about Angkor night market. Of course, there's a lot of night market at the moment. It's confused, but they still getting the name of Angkor night market. Then after that, the city is full and it compact at night, and there's a lot of product that tourists can go, even not the market products, but it's F&B business coming very, very fast in Siem Reap at night, especially a lot of bar, a lot of pub. Then I feel like, it look like it's a lot already. Why? And then some senior tourists, they go to that area. It feel like so noisy and cannot find a
it's not about Pub Street, right?
Yeah, Pub Street. And then
it's called Pub Street, so we know what kind of people eventually that's a place to drink, right?
right. And even around the area of my market is Angkor night market. It's quite very busy. There's a lot of pubs coming, so the sound, and then the senior not stay or walking around there long. They go back to the hotel. I have an idea, say, why don't I do it higher class of place? So that's why I have an idea to build a King's Road compound now, which is I bring a lot of medium high hotel restaurant put in there, along the river, so that the guests and the tourists have a chance after the Pub Street. They need to relax a bit, drink coffee in the King's Road compound, local food, called Khmer food, Western food, pizza, Italian, Japanese, and sitting there.
So let's talk a little bit about that, because maybe some people don't know quite a bit about King's Road, Angkor, right?
Yeah.
So you have the Angkor night market on one side of the river.
Yes.
You cross the bridge.
Yes.
You pretty much get to then what's called King's Road.
Yes.
Now, King's Road Angkor is a restaurant complex.
Yes.
With not only top restaurants, but terrazas there, Hard Rock Cafe, Yisang. There's Blue Pumpkin. So you have a lot of fantastic restaurants in a nice little compound with also people selling also goods, selling really a much, let's say, a little higher end stores selling Cambodian made goods as well.
At the moment we set up the made in Cambodian market. This is the name of that market. They sell at night. This is also famous and popular. Before it's located in another place, not in Kings Road. So we bring them to put it combined together to make it easy for tourists come and see food and shop. This is a real local products there, not messy like other market at the moment. So that's more in order, easy to choose the local products in Kings Roads.
Right, and you have some really interesting restaurants as well.
You
guys brought in the Hard Rock. We would have thought the Hard Rock Cafe would have started in Phnom Penh, but you guys brought in the Hard Rock Cafe.
Yes. We bring the Hard Rock first in Cambodia. It's in Siem Reap, and then they expand to Phnom Penh.
Eventually,
we work together. We have a good team. We try our best to get what my vision wants is from. First step is Angkor Night Market. Second step is Kings Road Angkor. Is a compound with the Cambodian local house styles, and it look very nice, and many trees and gardens.
I enjoy when I go up to Siem Reap. I enjoy the Hard Rock absolutely for lunch. Has a great lunch. And I also enjoy having some coffee and ice cream at the Blue Pumpkin. And if you really feel like Chinese, you have Yisang, right?
Yisang is not there. Is
Emperor China.
That's
right. Sorry, my mistake. I gave a plug to two restaurants. There you go. But let's get to Johnny now, because Johnny's part of the plan now going forward, right? Johnny is part of the company now that's called Alpha Vantage.
Right.
And Mr. Lim has decided that he's done such a great job of managing properties that maybe he could lend his expertise in managing properties to the rest of the market, right?
Yes. Because
so what's the plan for Alpha Vantage?
Because now actually Mr. Lim to expansion on the offices and the apartment, and Alpha Vantage we can be as a professional team to set up to help to manage, to secure, and make the tenant comfortable. And then of course we have F&B support. They can have a lunch easily. So we have very fantastic place there. Then I think the more important part that there is no mosquito. I think that is a very because mosquito for Singaporean is very sensitive. So I come from Singapore. So I have F&B industry about 20 years. In accommodation side, property side is about 13 years. So I think I will set up the team to lead the team to go to the something like professional way to serve the guests.
Right.
We are ready for that.
So is Alpha Vantage going to be looking at managing properties in Siem Reap and Phnom Penh and across Cambodia?
Yes.
So what's the plan? What services will you offer?
We offer the great place. Then we service, then maintain it, the building. Then etc. It means that we are not only operate on the what they call as an operator. We are care to our tenant, what they need. So we are serve their niche, the market, the demand.
So what type of sectors are you going to focus on? F&B? Are you going to focus on residential like condos?
No, at the moment we have an office space in just only next to the Kings Road Angkor. Right. Just only about 2 steps or 3 steps away. Then we have an apartment. Then we have office spaces. For the future, maybe we can have a school there. Maybe we don't know. As long as they have a market demand, then we can depend on the market demand. Then we'll request the whole.
But you'll also be looking at Phnom Penh.
Yes. You're looking at Nanping as well.
So people are interested because there's so many properties coming live soon that people are interested in having their properties managed. Alpha Advantage is now in the market to do that.
I think now Cambodia actually we got a big area can be played with because they got plenty full of land, because Mr. Lim, we can do a lot of construction thing, we can come out, in fact, if anybody got keen, we can resign to fix their niche in Cambodia.
Okay. Let's go back a little bit to Siem Reap. I wanted to ask you, since you're an old-time Siem Reap guy.
Oh yeah.
You've got to tell us some history of Siem Reap because you were born there. You said, right? You lived there. How have you seen Siem Reap? I just read this morning that tourist arrivals are up 20% in Cambodia again. Mm-hmm. I mean, we're just seeing an incredible amount of tourists coming to Cambodia, but especially, we know the draw is Siem Reap and the temple. How have you seen the tourist industry develop in Siem Reap?
In general, in overview, tourist is increasing and developments then is going up from one to another 1 year is good, step by steps in general. But what I can saying that we change now. We have a lot of Asian tourists,
mostly from China, right?
Yeah,
China, Vietnam.
Yeah, China, Vietnam's. So we have this. If we compare to 8 years ago, Western is more, and then Japanese is more. So now it's less, both of them, but it's increased Asian, like especially Chinese and Vietnamese is a lot. So what we can see in general, my personally to share the opinion in tourists in Siem Reap or Cambodia, I think we should. We are all, even me, travel agent, government should think to promote, to take another part of tourists, not only Chinese, is from other countries. We promote it to be more balanced, and mixing tourists is more worldwide, and then because they can talk more, like Chinese, they go back to talk to Chinese, but Western, they go back home, they talk to their people to come more.
Has there had been an adjustment because Chinese tourists are they're different? There's no doubt about that, and that we see everywhere in the world. They spend less. Mm. They look more for bargains. Mm. They come, I guess, more in packs. more. There's, Chinese people tend to travel together, where you may have Westerners that would travel as a family or a couple, but there's a lot more tours, I guess, from China. Mm-hmm. And how has Siem Reap had to adjust, from, I guess, Western tourists that would be spending more money on their visits and more budget-conscious Chinese travelers?
In general, it's right. What you say is right. I agree with it. In general, Western they pays more, but when I can prove even clearer than that the package tours nowadays, which is we sell to the Chinese tourists, are very very low, so that the service is not good as a normal package tour at all.
So have the hotels had to adjust their prices to draw in the Chinese tourists?
Right. This is another corner. If we go with that, I just say, for myself, the room is over demands, so that all the hotel try to reduce the price to catch all the tourists that whoever that he can cut the guests to put in the hotel. The main things now, The main things now, the room is more than the guests to come, so that's why they try to lower to get the tourists for expand or for to protect the operation costs. But for me, the room is too much. To finish now. We talk these people, we know.
And more hotels are coming too, right?
Yeah, that's why I tell of all my friends that who work in the hotel. I don't have the hotel. I say, why don't you should make the idea to give to government to say, why don't we make a quotas, like from now we not give a license to the hotel for 2 years. Then the price will be stable. Then we think about that again.
And you should listen to Mr. Lim, because he's been around a long time in Siem Reap, and he's seen it develop from nothing, right?
It's very easy that we say probably the Ministry of Tourism afraid to say this to people, but I say we should say this to the investor to help them not lost, not the hotel they don't make money if they keep doing all that. So they say, okay, no more from now 2 years. Okay, let's see, if anyone want to build hotel, you put it, apply, and then we make a waiting list, and then our people will study what is the proper will coming. Restaurant are the same. When we put this, will be stable and no more fight, so no more rate fight. If we face to the hotel investment now, if we study about a real investment of a hotel business, I don't think that they make money.
Right.
I don't think so, because they invest. If you go to if we take the money from we loan, and then we say 0.8, 0.7, you will lose again, because you invest. We don't know when we can make a break even at all. This is the real thing, but people not didn't talk about the real thing. They always talk something behind. I talk straight. I say, yes, sorry, you make a quota, no more hotel from now. Okay, 2 years. Then I will study. Okay, if possible, I will starting 2 years. If still hotel a lot, 2.5 years we go. We have a right to do that, because to protect our people, our businessmen that not study well and they build it. So we give them a figure.
Sure.
We give them a figure.
I think that's absolutely right. Let me ask you another question, because you were a tour guide, and you got a lot of feedback from tourists about Siem Reap and how they feel and what they want to do, and that's how you developed the night market and now Kings Road Angkor. What does Siem Reap need to do to create more attractions? I mean, what type of, if you had we have a lot of young people listening, right? So if you would give a young guy listening now an idea, what would you tell them to type of business to go in and Siem Reap?
All right, I think
you have to hand down your secrets sometimes.
I think sometimes they say to attract tourists, they how to do this, how to do that, But sometimes they try to do something hard to do, and thinking too much, too far away. They're not doing simple.
Right.
In Siem Reap, I talk about Siem Reap, or in the Cambodia. For my opinion, we don't need to spend a lot of money to advertise in CNN, in Channel New Asia, for 1 year, 600,000 something. I don't think so. You keep this money, okay, to support to any part, NGO or authority in the city authority, or we give this budget to one of the NGO that they have a really proper tourist management to make it. Example, we don't do. We just clean the city well. You don't need to make it look like Singapore, look like Australian, this is Cambodia. Okay, on the street, we do, they selling on the street. The cable should be very safe for tourists walk, avoid from accidents, cleaning no hole, making the curb for tourists walk around. You do all of this. All of the tourists.
Wow, I really welcome that. I always have to be ducking around electric cables and trying to walk on the sidewalk around cars. This would be very helpful.
Yeah,
this is what people are used to in their countries.
Yeah, we just doing this because you know why they come to Cambodia. They know that Cambodia is nice already. You don't need to tell them Cambodia is very nice. Why we need to tell them? You show them Cambodian, it's safe. Cambodian is walk. You can walk anytime. It's safe. No any pocket pick. So emergency systems.
Right.
So where is the tourists need to go? Like in the city, you show the how many place emergency telephone call. You just make it very simple. No need to do big building or big hotel, or you not should do it simple.
I agree. I think that would be wonderful. Wouldn't that be a great improvement?
Along the street, we have a small shop. You just make this shop become very simple, like in order. Okay, you don't have a good roof like tile. Okay, plastic, fine. Now it's a lot of plastic. I don't like to put all the plastic, but yeah, a straw. They make from one to one a straw, big or small, it doesn't matter. Straw along, and then everybody clean and selling. You teach our seller to put a cloud to make it cover without fly. We spray, we kill all of the flies around the city and smell. That's it. I think
that's a great idea.
Very simple. Don't do something like...
I'm going to ask you, just as we close up, I want to ask you some questions about the Angkor Wat. Because you are, I know you got to go back to your roots. You were once a tour guide, right? So can you tell us the most fascinating thing about Angkor Wat? Why, if somebody's listening internationally, why should they come to Cambodia and see Angkor Wat? When you saw tourists, when they saw Angkor Wat, what was the what did they find so amazing about Angkor Wat?
Angkor Wat, idea to say it is the big temple in the world. And whenever you show, people take a picture of Angkor Wat and you compare to anyone, almost no anyone believe that this is a real temple. They say it's mocked up all the time, That's why when they come to see the Angkor Wat, they always surprised. They go back home and say, this is a real. But I just going deeply to the character.
Such an amazing thing to see.
Characteristics of the temple. This is the big Hindu temple in the world. And this the temple which is coming in the real Hindu elements. And this Angkor Wat temple itself, it quite creative a bit. It means all the temple in the world, mostly they dedicate the temple to Shiva. Normally in Hinduism, they got Shiva, Brahma, and Vishnu, these three gods that they call Trinity. So this Trinity, it make Hindu, they believe that it makes circle of life. It's creative, and then preserver, and then destroyer. So that's why they believe in reincarnation. Most temple they believe in they dedicate to Shiva. The Angkor Wat dedicated to Vishnu. And then the temple itself, normally they say the home of those three gods is a big another world which is surrounded by the ocean and then the mountains. So that's why they got a big water around. They call moat around that, and then the temple is the the place of the god, and they got 3 levels. The temple now is 3 levels. 3 levels is Shiva, Brahma, and Vishnu. So we say in generally you can see this. So people just read the book, they understand easy. I just go to the architectures. The temple stay there. It's a lot of thousands of tons of stone, but they never suck down. The building are very interesting, and tourists and archaeology come and study all the time. But I can tell in generally, the temple is built for me is a floating. It's like floating temple. It means I say floating, but because of technically I don't know how they cost, but it's floating. The water surround, and they build it in the middle. The temple still stay there because if the water is coming and raining season and dry season, the water going across, they don't shake the temple. They go and they stay inside the moat.
Right.
So water come, they stay there. So the stream, you don't have any strong stream to destroy the foundation. And they stay there. Water, they come. Okay, you stay in the water. You stay in the moat around. So okay, you go down. You go slowly down. So the temple stay there. And another one, the temple, there is no any glues between temple, between the stone at all. So they put stone on stone.
Just the weight itself.
Yeah, and the stone are very smooth like that. So it's stick together. It's like you put glass on the glass like this.
Right.
So it's no air inside. So they before they grind it together to make it smooth together, stay there. So that's why they can put steps on step. They stay together there. Now they a little bit old age, so the air can be go inside some, but they still stay. They stay in balance. So this is in generally that people very surprised when they say, for our local people, they say not built by people. The temple, when you see the temple, you read the book, they write, some book they write. Local people say this is created by the God. Because when they found it, temple has been abundance. So the French come, and then the people tell to French, saying, no, this is God built it. Because they don't believe that people build it. It look very nice and unable to build, because the stone is 10 ton, 20 ton, 30 ton per piece. In generally, what I can say,
you never know. It could have been built by the gods. Well, every time I get to sit down with Mr. Lim, and once in a while we have dinner. We could talk forever. So we only have a limited time. So I want to thank you for coming on. And look, from tour guide to founder of Angkor Night Market, founder of Kings Road Anchor, now part of Vantage, Alfred Vantage. Great, fantastic. Keep up your entrepreneurial work. And congratulations on Kings Road Anchor. It's a beautiful complex. Okay. Congratulations on Alpha Vantage.
Thank you.
Wish you guys a lot of luck.
Thank you.
And come back in a while and tell us how you guys are doing. Thank you for being on Cambodia Business Week. Thank you.
Thank you.